What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going over the regional decks for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. There is no national decks for this game at the moment, but we're going to be covering every confirmed Pokemon from trailers, from leaks that are confirmed to come to Scarlet and Violet. And of course, guys, if you like videos like this, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Now, starting off with Generation 1 right here, we actually have a lot of Pokemon coming back. So we got confirmation of Pikachu and Raichu, Jigglypuff, Wigglytuff, Venonat, Venomoth, Diglett, Dugtrio, Meowth, Persian, Psyduck, Golduck, Primeape, and Mankey, Magnemite, Magneton, Shelter, Cloyster, Ghastly, Haunter, and Gengar. We got Drowsy and Hypno, Coughing and Wheezing, Tauros, and Magikarp, Gyarados, Ditto, and the Eevee line with Eevee, Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. So you may be asking, I see no starters, I see no legendaries. Well, one of the leakers said, and I think, in my opinion, the more trustworthy leaker said, there is going to be no starters for Gen 9 outside of the Gen 9 one. So Gens 1 and 8 will not be having their starters. So if your favorite Pokemon is Charizard, I'm sorry to hear that, but it's not going to be the game at launch. But this could change, of course. Leakers can be wrong, but just using the information that we have been leaked and that we have seen in the trailers, we can assume that there is no other starters coming to the game until maybe DLC. There's also going to be no other legendary Pokemon. I think that's sort of a shoe-in because it's a brand new gen. It's going to have its own set of legendary Pokemon. Other games' legendary Pokemon usually don't show up until DLC, and is a great way for them to sell the content to us, so it makes a lot of sense overall. There are a couple of actually interesting things here that I have to mention. Some of these Pokemon will be getting some different forms. So Jiggly and Wigglytuff do have some sort of form as a new type of form as well. Same with Diglett and Dugtrio. Not really a form, but it's a new concept, so there's something going on there. Primeape is getting an evolution, which is super interesting, and Tauros will be getting 3 other regional forms. So Gen 1 is getting a lot of love for a lot of Pokemon that really haven't been touched before, so I think that's really awesome. So I'm happy with what we're seeing here. I mean, of course, there is some Pokemon that are missing, but to be fair, this is not the entire leaked regional dex. More Pokemon are still going to be added to this, so expect this list to grow. But I think this is a pretty good showing for Gen 1 at the moment. Now, looking at Gen 2, here's all the returning Pokemon. Of course, we got Pichu and Iggly because they're babies from the Pikachu and Jigglypuff lines. We got Mareep, Flaffy, Ampharos, Hoppip, Skiploom, and Jumpluff, Sunkern, Sunflora, Espeon, Umbreon, Murkrow, Mischievous, Giraffridge, Dunsparce, Teddiursa, Ursaring, Delibird, Houndour, Houndoom, Blissey, Larvitar, Pupitar, and Tyranitar. I think this is a fantastic showing for Gen 2. I think Gen 2 got a phenomenal amount of Pokemon coming back. I mean, it is a really tiny gen overall, but they picked a lot of fan favorites from this. I mean, the Mareep line is phenomenal. It's actually interesting to see the Hoppip line. It's not a personal favorite, but it's cool for those people. Sunkern, I think that's sort of a miss. But Espeon, Umbreon, of course, with the Eevee. And I'm a big excited about Murkrow, Mischievous, and Giraffridge has an evolution in this game, which is pretty awesome. Dunsparce gets an evolution too. I mean, Teddiursa and Ursaring have a new evolution from Legends Arceus with Ursaluna. Delibird is getting a brand new form as well, and a Tyranitar line may be getting a new form too. So I'm really excited for this, and how can we forget the Houndour and Houndoom line, of course? Like, this is just a phenomenal set of Pokemon. I'm really excited for this overall. And yeah, Gen 2 really been represented really well here. Now, Gen 3, which is not represented really well at all. So Gens 1 and 2 really got a bulk of the Pokemon shown off so far. And of course, like I said, more Pokemon will be added, but Gen 3 right now is looking a little bit dire. I mean, we got Wingull and Pelipper, which is going to be good for competitive because of Drizzle play. The Gardevoir line with Ralts and Gardevoir here and Curlia. So that's pretty good. I mean, we got Swablu and Altaria. I wish they would get their Dragon Fairy back. Seviper, if Seviper is in it, we may get Zangoose, but we don't have hard confirmation of that yet. We got the Wishcast line. We got Tropius. And then we got the Salamence line, which will actually be a version exclusive. Same with the Tyranitar line. They're going to be the pseudo legendaries. They're going to help you buy which copies. So just keep that in mind. This is very interesting overall, though. Just, Not a lot of Pokemon here, but there's still pretty good lines. I mean, Salaman's line is a big win, and the Gardevoir line is a big win. I think the Altaria line is a pretty big win too. But there's a lot of notable missing Pokemon from Gen 3, especially the Metagross line, which I think is a big miss personally. Now, Gen 4 has a lot of missing Pokemon too. I mean, we got the Staraptor line, we got Combee, which is hilarious, and Vespiquen. The Drifloon line, which is, that's pretty solid. And of course, the evolutions of our Gen 2 guys with Honchkrow and Mischievous here. Happiny being a Chansey's baby. Lucario's a big get, of course. Who doesn't love a Lucario? Magnezone, of course, because Magnemite's in. And hey, big fan of Magnezone. Leafeon and Glaceon because, Eevee's in. And then Rotom. So not a lot of original Gen 4 Pokemon at all. I mean, Gen 4 is a weird gen because a lot of it is just evolutions of previous Pokemon. But, I mean, this is sort of a little bit worse off than Gen 3 personally, because you already knew these Pokemon were coming for the most part, like Magnezone and like Leafeon, Glaceon. You already knew they were coming, so I think it's a little bit disappointing. I think this is a gen that can definitely deserve a little bit more love, especially a Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl that came out and Legends Arceus, and both of those games really heavily focused Gen 4 Pokemon. I think more of those Pokemon should actually come back. So Gen 5, a massive gen normally, is actually one of the biggest gens, if not the biggest gen, pretty much neutered here, but there is a lot of fan favorites for me. Big one being Larvesta and Volcarona, who is actually going to be getting 2 different forms. We got the Hisuian Lilligant and Hisuian Zoroark and their regular forms coming as well. So we got both of those. Amoonguss is getting a new form, and Bisharp is going to be getting an evolution. And then we got Cragonal here, who's just hanging out and chilling. Gen 5 is my favorite gen, so I'm really disappointed. But I am excited to see like Pokemon that I love, like Bisharp getting an evolution, and a couple of these Pokemon getting new forms or bringing back their Hisuian form. So I think that's gonna be good overall for the meta and just for gameplay. Gen 6 is probably the most forgotten gen. Let's be real. Gen 6 is very forgotten. It's a tiny gen. Most of the gen was just mega evolutions, and there are no megas coming back to the game, so I did not include these. They're just not coming. But we do see some awesome Pokemon coming back that we haven't seen in a good minute. So Talonflame is always great. I'm a big fan of Talonflame. Pavilion's cool. I'm a big fan of Pavilion being our like basic bug line because the different patterns of Pavilion is going to encourage trading. So I think that's going to be really cool. We get the Florges line. I am so excited about this. I love Florges from Gen 6. Such an absolute special defensive fairy monster. So I think he's going to have a lot of competitive viability, and we haven't seen it in a minute. We also haven't seen Skidoo and Go-Goat since Gen 6 either. So welcome back, Goats. They're all right Pokemon, but they're just personal favorites of mine. Love me Clotsar and Clauncher. They're phenomenal Pokemon. They're really cool Pokemon, and they have a great red shiny as well. Sylveon, of course. I mean, with Eevee coming back, we know. Sylveon, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time as well. And we got the Goodra line, so that's another pseudo-legendary in the game. And this also confirms we're getting Hisuian Goodra as well, which is actually just a better version of regular Goodra. Gen 7, another tiny gen. A lot of things not getting love in Gen 7 either, but they did pick out a couple of fan favorites that I'm pretty happy about. So some people are going to hate Toxapex coming back because Toxapex is essentially like Ferrothorn, is an absolute monster of a defensive Pokemon. But since we have no Ferrothorn confirmed at this moment, I'll at least take Toxapex, and I'm pretty excited. I mean, such a great Pokemon overall, very annoying in singles, but I'm pretty happy. We get the Luranthus line. I do hope we get a stat buff for Luranthus because this Pokemon is a little bit underwhelming. I mean, just being a pure grass type with physical attack, and it's just not that high. It's a little bit too slow. We get Serena back, so we do get one waifu-like Pokemon back. And this Pokemon is actually pretty interesting overall. It's going to be usable in competitive play. Kamala is coming back, which is super weird because we haven't seen this in a minute. So I'm very excited to see. I sort of forgot what this Pokemon really does. I know it's always sleeping, so we're going to have to see. But I'm just glad that we're going to get more single evolution Pokemon coming back. And of course, Mimikyu, fan favorite. I mean, love me some Mimikyu. Who really doesn't love Mimikyu? Phenomenal Pokemon overall. Now, for the last gen, Gen 8, not a lot of Pokemon confirmed. I think this is sort of the craziest thing. So we're going to get the Greedent line, which I think is pretty funny. I mean, Greedent is a fan favorite. There's a lot of marketing material behind him. Dreadnought, which is cool. I mean, I think Dreadnought's a cool Pokemon. Not too great, but it is a cool Pokemon. Colossal returns. This Pokemon is an absolute beast in the VGC meta, so we'll see how good it is in this, but this is actually really exciting. And I'm a big fan of Colossal. I just think it's a cool Pokemon. Carkol is an absolute meme design, but I'm a big fan of Colossal. Stonejourner is here, another meme Pokemon. And then we get our confirmed Hisuian Pokemon. Ursaluna going to be phenomenal. Hisuian Lilligant is going to be very viable too. Very excited for the Hisuian Zoroark line. I think that, I mean, normal ghost, unique typing, and finally going to be able to use it in a competitive game. I think that's awesome. And then Dragon Steel Hisuian Gudra. Cannot wait for this. This is going to be an absolute monster. It's so much better than regular Gudra, so I'm super excited for this overall. And now we have the full picture with 126 Pokemon coming back with 5 additional forms for 131 returning Pokemon. And just remember, we're looking at 400 to 500-ish Pokemon for the Scarlet and Violet regional decks. So just keep that in mind, that there's going to be way more added to this, and we're only getting about 120 to 140 new Pokemon as well. I do want to note that this also lists Pokemon that are not coming back. Important ones that aren't coming back: starters, legendary Pokemon, no fossil Pokemon, no Porygon line, no Furfurou line, no Beedrill line, and no Clank line, no Garvantula line, and a couple others. You can like zoom in and look around, but pretty much a couple things are not coming back that are hard confirmed, but the big things is no starters, no fossils, and no legendaries from previous games. Well, guys, if you like this video, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out, and have a great one.